Piggybacking off of my most recent rare candy guide and video on the channel, I decided to rank every single stage 2 Pokemon in this tier list based off of the brand new rare candy item and how improved they are, and which ones, honestly, you probably shouldn't even bother using rare candy with. Hey guys, Zen here, welcome to the channel. And again, if you didn't watch that first video, highly recommend you watch that one. Check that one out. I cover everything from how to use the rare candy, best Pokemon to use it with, as well as how to counter the rare candy and a couple other very interesting techs and combos. However, in this video, we have a tier list, not your regular tier list. This isn't your average S, A, B, C, D tier list. No, this is a bit different. We have a splashable category, an aggro category. This is kind of better now with rare candy category, a could use some more help category, and a don't bother category. So again, if you see something in Splashable, it's not technically S tier, but it is a card that I think you could technically just put in other decks now, regardless of energy requirements, to get the added benefit from that card. More specifically, they're going to be cards with abilities, stage 2 Pokemon with abilities. Now, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys are excited, because we're going to get started and we're going to roll through these quickly. We have the baby Venusaur here that honestly I think is right in C. We'll put it, could use some more help. It's not bad. It's okay. But the issue is it's honestly, maybe you don't even bother with this one. It's 4 energy, rare candy on this. I don't think anyone even plays this card. If anything, people are going to play the EX. And I'm going to put the EX right over here. Honestly, I'd even say better, because instead of evolving into your Ivysaur, you can go right into your Venusaur. However, you will still need 3 energy on your Venusaur to start hitting at all. So that's why it's over here in the B category. Not too bad. I think another card that got really good is Butterfree, mainly because of the ability. You could argue that this is splashable everywhere because it does heal all of your Pokemon for 20. However, again, I'm saving that category for cards that I really think are splashable everywhere. Next up is Beedrill, super aggro. You're kidding me. You're going first, okay? Your opponent plays a basic Pokemon with, let's say, less than 70 HP. Now it's your turn again. It doesn't even matter if they hit your Weedle with damage. Heck, they can hit you with a Charmander and do 40. You're right, super effective outside of a Giovanni. Next turn, you rare candy into this Beedrill and give 1 energy and smack them and win the game if they have no benched Pokemon. This thing is amazing, and that's what I think rare candy really brings to the table. It is opening the doors to aggressive decks, aggressive Pokemon, and more aggressive playstyles. Hopefully, combating the whole stall, sitting all the way back here on the bench, giving energy to your Pokemon. Listen, I'm sick of it. I know you guys are too. So I'm very excited for this new aggro approach. Next up is Vileplume for 3 energy. I'm going to say could use some more. I wouldn't say don't bother. This is pretty good, right? Because it sleeps your opponent's active Pokemon. So here we go with Victory Bell. I think this is pretty neat. For 2 energy, you could say it's aggro, but I'm going to just slot it in better, because on curve, like on turn 2, you can get online, take out their Pokemon if they're 60 HP or less. They'll bring out another Pokemon. If they evolve that Pokemon, doesn't matter. You can just start Poke-fluting that first basic Pokemon you slaughtered on turn 2. Bring them back, knock them out again, and guess what? The following turn, if they can't take out your Victory Bell, do it again. GG's. So, I mean, I guess that is kind of aggressive, right? I'm not too mad. You know what? I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, guys. Next card for a don't bother is this Charizard. Let's be honest. It's way too much energy, and why would you ever play that? I just don't think you do. Next is this Amistar. I think it's better, but also I think it could use some more. The energy requirements being 3 just kind of hold it back, in my opinion, just a bit. However, the effect of the move to stop your opponent from attacking is pretty neat. Electros here could use more. I mean, honestly, probably don't bother. No one's really going to play this guy, unfortunately. I mean, I'm definitely not. This is very interesting. The Gengar here is super aggressive. 1 energy, your following turn, dealing, 50 damage, and your opponent can't use any supporter cards. Speaking of supporter cards, I'm going to just throw this in here. There's a card floating around for the Japanese Pokemon Pocket Twitter, and it's Kukui, right? The professor. And We don't know if it's fake. We don't know if it's real. It looks real, but also it looks fake at the same time. Anyway, it's in Japanese and it loosely translates to draw X amount of cards. From those cards, pick a Pokemon and an item, add them to your hand, and shuffle the rest back into your deck. Arven? It kind of feels like it's Arven, right? Again, I don't know if that's a real card. However, I feel like it's important to bring it up because that's only going to make Rare Candy even more powerful if it is a real card, because holy crap, I'm excited. But also this Gengar stocks go extremely up if that is the case. That is a supporter, because then you can just play Gengar and they can't even play cards like that, which I really hope are real. This Alakazam is better, 100%. Crimson Storm Charizard. I don't think it's a don't bother. I think it could use more. You know, I think it is actually better because now you don't need the Charmeleon. You can evolve, and with Moltres, you could just start slapping your opponent for 200 damage much quicker. So that's not too bad. I think it is better. Gengar, 100% better. I'm going to put it at the top right here because I'm a huge Gengar enthusiast. This thing is amazing. Next up is Gardevoir. The rest of the cards really don't matter the order. This is absolutely better. For Mewtwo, it's better for so many psychic ramping decks. This thing is insane. Throw in the new Lunala and Goleo, or however you say the name, EX, and this thing is amazing. Speaking of which, those aren't on today's tier list because I just wanted to include all the older Stage 2 Pokemon. Next up is this Machamp. Could use a bit more, nothing too crazy. I guess this Machamp is kind of good. You know, I don't think so, actually. I think it could use more. Machamp EX, being able to evolve, yes, that's great. It has 180 HP, but you still need that energy requirements, right? And not knowing if we have any sort of like ramp, kind of, I feel like holds it back a bit. 120, I guess if I'm putting these guys up here, the 180 HP is pretty respectable. All right, we'll throw it up there. We'll throw it up there, guys. Next up is Kabutops, 100% super aggro, super amazing with Rare Candy. Florges, 2 energy, you start healing everybody. Yes, please. Golem is interesting. I'm going to put it in C, could use more. Yes, you can evolve quicker and go right into your Brock. I think we could all agree that is a fantastic card to use with Rare Candy. However, you still need 4 energy. I'm not going to say don't bother because I'm absolutely going to bother with this. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. Next up is Blastoise. Don't bother. Actually, you know, do I? Yeah, I could use more. I think this is probably the best one out of all the baby starters, to be honest. Superior. I'd put it in A if it wasn't aggressive. However, actually, it might be kind of aggressive if you think about it, because it's 2 energy to attack. Yeah, it is. It is. This is an A aggressive kind of card. It helps aggressively for your grass type Pokemon, but also itself for 2 energies. If you're going second on turn 2, you're dishing out 70 damage. No, that's solid. That is really good. Dragonite, I guess it's a little bit better because now you don't have to worry about Dragonair, but you still need those energies. Nidoking could use a bit more. And for our first one, are you guys kidding me? A free Sabrina in every deck, you guys. Pidgeot, Genetic Apex Pidgeot stocks have gone up tremendously with this one card. It's actually insane. I'm so stoked for this. Speaking of stoked, we're going to be talking about that in a bit. There's so many more Pokemon to go through. Hopefully we have enough space to cover everything. This Golem, I'm also going to throw it in here because of the same thing. We'll just put it right next to each other. Pidgeot EX is better. I'll throw it up here. Blastoise is better. Magnezone, this is a tricky one. I'm throwing it in don't bother because the whole point of Magnezone is Magneton. You use Magneton to ramp your Magnezone in any deck. However, if you skip your Magneton, you could only play Magnezone in Lightning decks. So I genuinely think you don't bother with this. Next up is Blossom, who's super aggressive now. Phenomenal. Luxray is better with Rare Candy. Infernape might be the scariest. I'm going to put this straight up here. I know I said the order doesn't matter, but like when I notice a card that really exceeds the rest, I'm going to slot it right where I think it deserves to be. Infernape on turn 2 to slap your opponent's Darkrai, Arceus, anything with 140. Are you kidding me? Your opponent's... Oh, I can't wait to play Infernape this next set, guys. It's actually crazy. Torterra... I'd say don't bother because like unless you're playing a Leafeon deck, maybe I say could use a bit more. Rampardos, I'm gonna put this at number 2. Because again, look, 140 to 130 damage. I mean, the numbers are right there. I'm not great at math, guys, but that's a lot of damage. Okay. Next up is Poliwrath. I wouldn't say it's splashable because of the ability. I'd say it could use a bit more. It is a bit better though, but yeah, I'd say it could use a bit more. Same with Empoleon, could use a bit more. It's not too bad. Mamoswine is interesting. It has a lot of HP, but the energy requirements for the move just leave me a bit lackluster for this Mamoswine. Next up is Togekiss, super aggressive. It has good potential. I'll just slide it down here, honestly. Let's see if anything else deserves to be up here for now. No, I'm just going to leave it like this. But Togekiss is pretty good. Next up is Dusknoir. Are you kidding me? Dusknoir, you won't need potions. I mean, you can. You won't need your lilies, but I guess you can. You won't need so many of these cards, but I guess you could. Could you imagine this with another Pokemon and just full sustain? You're living forever with your Dusknoirs, and it's so great because if you're running something that is like a basic that just ramps up and you want to keep it alive forever, Dusknoir can essentially contribute to that with the potions and everything else. Maybe you wouldn't run your lilies, maybe the Nurse Joys. I think this is a splashable card. Now, I'm going to try to splash it everywhere. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Speaking of splashing cards, Greninja. I mean, that should be no surprise to anybody. Greninja, 110%. All right, there we go. Just modify the images so that way it could actually fit on the screen real quick. Next up is Bastiodon. I'd say it could use a bit more, honestly. Not too crazy. Same with Garchomp could be aggro, but you're waiting for your energy. You don't actually know if you're going to get your energy. So I'm going to put it at the bottom of aggro. It's not too bad. Speaking of another card, I'm going to put this in front of Rampardos because if you're going into potentially a ramp deck, your Gallade is just eating for free. Same thing with Staraptor. If you're running a berry, this thing is so good. You could rare candy into Staraptor and then just do tremendous damage. Actually, this is the wrong Staraptor. This is the one that traps your opponents. I'm going to put this in B. And then the other Staraptor that deals 130 is going in aggressive. Same with this other baby Gengar for 2 energy that can sleep your opponents. Porygon Z is absolutely better. Beedrill, I'm going to put Beedrill after Rampardos. It does require an extra energy. However, these two do so much energies. And then if you can get your Beedrill online and they're trying to ramp their active Pokemon, you just kind of stop them in their tracks. They can't do anything. T-Tar could use a bit more. It just requires so much energy. Palmont right here, better. And it retreats. Actually, it's aggro and it retreats for free and it deals 70 damage. The Alakazam aggro, super good. Machamp aggro for 2 energy, you're dealing 70, but then for every energy above that, you're adding even more. Meowscarada, I'm putting right here in front of the Beedrill because again, it's only for 2 energy, but if you're going into an EX, that's 130. Same with the Rampardos. That's kind of nuts. I think this could be better. Right? To be honest, like the Nidoking, I'll put it right next to the Nidoking, the Nidoqueen. I want them to be good. Maybe this is the set with Rare Candy. We'll really have to see what else they introduce. Next up, we have this guy. I think it's better. Rhyperior, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one, yeah, just don't even bother. This, however, might be a Magnezone that you do bother, right? This is better. This, if you're just running the Magnemite into this Magnezone, oh my god, there's so many magnets. That with Arceus, this would be a lot better in my opinion. Garchomp, super aggressive. I'm gonna put it after the Beedrill. Stoke Charizard, insane, right up here. There, you can't change my mind. This thing's about to be crazy. This is better, and then also I guess Tinkaton is better. Could use a bit more. The energy's 3, but there you guys have it. That is my tier list for every single stage 2 Pokemon that will interact with Rare Candy. I think we have 3 Pokemon that potentially could be splashable in any deck that'll provide tremendous value. You have your Greninja that synergizes with Cyrus to snipe. You have your Dusknoir to keep your other heavy hitters alive forever. It synergizes with all of your healing items. And then you have your Pidgeot that is a free Sabrina every single turn. Those 3 cards, by far, in my eyes, are the absolute winners with rare candy. But you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think of this list? What other cards would you change things around? Am I really not considering the things in C and D? Are you guys seeing something different that I like out of the Pokemon that I put in C and D? Let me know in the comments if you're like, yo, no, you need to give them a little bit more playtime and give them a try, because, you know, I'll listen. I'll give it a try once the set drops. But there you guys have it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one later.